Now to Sondos Assem from the Muslim Brotherhood's Freedom and Justice Party. Welcome to Al Jazeera. This draft constitution was rushed through pretty much at the end of last month. What some analysts are saying is it was rushed through and not enough time or debate has been given to the individual articles. Would the Brotherhood accept that?
Well, that's incorrect. The constitutional draft has been subject to discussions and deliberations for the past 6 months, not just 1 month. And in fact, all Constituent Assembly members have taken part in drafting this constitution, even though some of them have withdrawn in the final sessions of voting. And therefore, this draft reflects all those members that have taken part in drafting it for 6 months. Every article in the Constitution has taken at least 300 hours of discussions and hearing sessions. And therefore, we believe that this draft has taken sufficient time and has listened to as much opinions as possible. At least 50,000 recommendations have been taken into consideration in this draft.
6 months consideration.
We believe that such believe that such criticism is unfair.
Their women's rights are covered, but they're only mentioned in the context of family. Why is that?
That's incorrect. The preamble of the Constitution clearly states that citizens, whether men or women, are equal before the law. Articles 8 and 9 of the Constitution clearly state that all citizens, irrespective of any background, are equal before the law. There are actually at least 4 articles in the Constitution that guarantee equality among all citizens, whether men or women, Muslims or non-Muslims. And this actually does not have to be mentioned throughout all the Constitution. We have an entire chapter on civil rights and freedoms, and all these articles refer to all citizens, whether men or women, Muslims or Christians.
Well, Egypt's going through this great upheaval at the moment. You have to agree with that. There have been rival marches of supporters and opponents of the president. There have been vicious street battles, sectarian taunting. Now, all of that suggests that any outcome of this referendum will leave many Egyptians very deeply embittered.
We regret the violence that has occurred over the past couple of weeks, and we reject any kind of violent expression of opinion. We believe that whoever wants to express his or her opinions should express it peacefully and through the agreeable democratic means. And that's why we believe that having the referendum today would take us out of this instability and would bring about a democratic system that is a matter of consensus among all those diverse currents in Egyptian society.
That's certainly debatable, because in outline the new draft seems to, from my reading anyway, differ very little from the constitution that prevailed until the fall of Hosni Mubarak's regime.
That's simply inaccurate and incorrect. The current draft significantly limits the powers of the president, at least by 40%. The chapter on presidential powers has actually divided the powers of the president between him and the prime minister. Most of the president's decisions have to pass through the people's representatives and the prime minister before being ratified. And there are a lot of articles that have not existed in the 1971 Constitution, especially concerning civil liberties.
If that's true, why are so many people against it?
Well, some people have legitimate concerns and legitimate opinions, but unfortunately the Egyptian media, most of it are dominated by loyalists to the Mubarak regime, have been deliberately falsifying and fabricating articles in this constitution to the extent of distributing fabricated and false copies of the current constitution.
Yesterday, the
Constituent Assembly has held a presser to clarify all those misinterpretations and misconceptions regarding the constitutional draft. And most of the concerns that we are hearing from Egyptian media have turned out to be based on assumptions and incorrect interpretation of the constitutional articles.
Sondos Assem, thank you for joining us. And apologies for the loss of picture towards the end. We were having problems with the satellite. It's nothing to do with Egyptian television or Al Jazeera. So